today on my show, I have Pepper SpraYoFace. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. I'm Pepper SpraYoFace, also known as Priscilla. I've been playing off and on since about 2008. I first started with a league here in El Paso. It was in infancy. Literally, it was like 10 of us. um, we helped create that one, and then that one became I think they wanted to do more of bank track. So another group of us kind of split off into another league, and we started doing which is El Paso Roller Derby, which is the league I'm with now. And we were doing the competitive, like international WFTDA, all of that. So, yeah.
Awesome. Which I am also a part of.
Yes.
When did you fall head over skates for roller derby?
It was literally love at first sight. What's funny is that me and my sister had talked about it. We lived in San Antonio. I don't know how we heard about it, but we had heard about it somewhere in San Antonio, and we're like, oh my God, that would be amazing. But then it was just kind of weird. We both ended up being pregnant around the same time, so we never like followed through with it. And then we both ended up moving back to El Paso for whatever our own little reasons. And one of my good friends, actually Irma, she knew somebody whose aunt was in it, and they were like, let's check it out. So we went to a practice on that little hockey rink over there off of Donovan, that little like beat up one.
Extreme
Yeah,
skate.
some extreme skate or something like
Side
that. Yeah.
note, I am married to her sister. She's my derby wife. So whoever's watching, we know each other really, really well. We started together. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, so we went to one of those practices, and I'm pretty sure you were there. Frida was there. I remember your enemy Yvette was there.
Belen was there.
Belen, yeah, dude, Belen. And
there wasn't enough to scrimmage. I remember.
No, dude, no, there wasn't. I just know I remember seeing you guys were skating around like in circles. I think Frida was trying to teach, because at that time I think a lot of everybody it was like for us anyways, it was new. Like I think she's talking about like how to do crossovers and things like that.
We did crossover therapies in the buckets where rain would rain.
Where rain wouldn't hit. Yeah, we would go around them. Yeah,
crossover so it was therapy, guys.
Yeah, dude. So it was like the next. Whatever you guys had practice next, I signed up. I was like, I'm down. I'm in it. This is it. I wanted to do it. And I remember, I think I got my sister in like the next like week or so. And we were both like, we're in it. Let's do this.
What month was that? About May?
It was like, it was like the ending of July, I think. July, August of 2008.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I want to say you guys were already there. You and Molly were already there when I went. And I saw your enemy and I saw Belen, but you guys were there. You already had your derby names. I didn't have a derby name.
Well, you know what's funny? Dude, I don't know if it was just meant to be or what, but I think that very first one or two practices, me and my sister would ride together. And we had talked about derby names. We're like, what's your name going to be? We don't know. And, we had no idea. We're like, I have no idea. Yeah. And I think I wanted to keep something. I actually was trying to think of something with Pippi Longstocking. I really liked that. But then I think as we started like conversing, it turned into Pepper. And then it just turned in, we were like something with your face in it. Like, we're like, Pepper SpraYoFace. We're like, yeah. And then, my original number was the 8675309 because of
80s.
Yeah, right. Yeah, but then of course that number is ridiculously long, and so is my name, so there would have been like no space for anything. I ended up finding out that 245 is actually police code for assault with a deadly weapon, so I was like, perfect, done.
Pepper SpraYoFace. Yeah. I didn't know this. Yeah. I didn't know the San Antonio thing. I'm learning so much about you. I've known you for years.
Yeah.
This is awesome. How was your first derby date, whether it be your first practice or your first bout or both?
First derby date, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Gosh, I guess there would be both. I think it's all kind of such a blur because it's like such a, like it sweeps you off your feet. It just, I do remember like that first practice over there off of Donovan. um I don't even remember what kind of drills we were doing, but I was so out of shape. I've never done any kind of sports, team, anything. I had tried out, I think like in middle school and high school, never made it. So I was like, well, that's it. I guess I'm not doing anything. So yeah. So, I mean, doing this like exercise or like extracurricular shit was just like, I was like dying. I remember I felt like I was gonna pass out, I was gonna throw up, but I wanted it. I was like, no, but I like, it was meant for more. Like it felt right. So that practice I remember. And then I think I couldn't even tell you the first game because I've had so many first games. The first game I remember that we had at the ballroom over there in Horizon, I remember, my adrenaline pumping and just being so nervous. And but then I also remember the first game that we had as Tex Pistols. It was over in Tucson. Same thing. I was so nervous. I was like, what if I don't do it right? What am I doing? Like, oh my God. So there's a lot of little firsts that I will always remember. And it's all kind of encompassed into the whole, like, just love and infatuation of the game and the sport and everybody involved with it.
Well, I remember my first game with the Tex Pistols also because for so many years, so when you split off, I stayed playing the same teams or renegade teams, so I always played against the same people I knew. Even if we got new players, it was the bulk of it were people I had already played with. So when I played my first Tex Pistol game, even though it was in El Paso, it was very scary because I don't know these girls and I don't know what they're capable of. And I was really happy because we won that game. And it was the first season that I was with El Paso Roller Derby. And I was like, well, at least I didn't mess it up. You know what I mean? Like, I might not have done a lot, but I
didn't mess it up.
We won. So it was great. Like, I was like, so yeah, I think we can all relate to that. Yeah. So let's talk about gear. What was like the first gear you started with?
Oh, gosh, it was some, God, I think I went to online to like rollerskates.com or something like that, like somewhere.
I remember really, discountskate.com.
Discount Skate, maybe that was it. And I think I paid like $100. It was little black skates,
and you got like
they
came with gear. You just needed a helmet.
The helmet.
And my helmet was the first thing I purchased, but everything else was
I don't even remember where I got my first helmet. I feel like somebody
took some.
You know what? I was gonna say, I think it might have been from that original bin of shit that people had was just in that bin and you just took it. I think that's where I got my first helmet. I don't remember buying my first helmet till like maybe about 2 or 3 years later, which is probably not safe.
Dude, mine didn't even fit my head. Like it wobbled, like it was a small medium. It was like but I wore that like if it was gonna save my life, dude.
Yeah, I know, right? If you fell,
I'm sure I got a little concussed here and there.
I'm sure even with it. So, but yeah, so they're just little black skates. I remember they had blue wheels. And yeah, I don't even remember the brand of like knee pads, elbow pads or anything. So they were just the stuff that came with you buying the fresh meat package. I think that's what it was called, fresh meat package. I think that's what it was called. Yeah, something like that.
Your favorite gear now? What are you rocking?
Right now, I have some Bont boots. They are on, gosh, I don't even know the name of the place. It's the lighter one. It's not the like metal one. It's the lighter version. But yeah, it's got those. And then I have my Heartbreak wheels on them. And then I have not the Gumball toe stop, but it's the Bigfoot, I think it's called. Bigfoot toe stop. That's what I'm skating in for Derby. And then I recently just got Vans skates that I had turned into, or Vans that I turned into skate. They're all white. They got my old Avanti plate on it. And then I have the little Moxie Fun Day wheels on it. And then I have my little twinkle toe stop, which I'm actually going to trade out right? to, the little yellow star. I'm going to trade it out. I'm gonna try and attempt either no toe stop or the little toe stop to try the jam skating. So
okay,
we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, who needs toe stops? Why do they put them on there?
It's just a comfort. It's a security blanket.
I need toe stops. No, that was total sarcasm. I totally need toe stops.
Well, I had gone to a skating rink and I didn't have my skates because it was kind of on a whim that we went to a skating rink, so I had to use their rental skates. And their rental skates have the plugs, so it's not like a toe stop, it's a little jam plug, it's not toe stop. Well, me being so used to my toe stop, I turned around and put my toe down and I biffed it so ugly. I just and I was like, okay, well, now I know, don't use toe stop.
So how does Derby make you feel?
So many feelings. Oh gosh, so many feelings. I know. Yeah, it's everywhere. I've been elated. I've been heartbroken. I mean, I think it's all over the spectrum of from happiness and love to anger and despise. You know what I mean? Like it's a
true romance.
It really is. And everything in between. Yeah, for reals. It's something you have to work at. It's something you have to work at all the time because you have to wonder, is this worth it? Do I really still love it? Is this something that I want to keep doing and all of that? So, I mean, as of right now, I miss it. I do miss it. This was a break that I don't think any of us were looking for. I mean, it was a break that... Appreciate it
exactly. I actually I've never missed Derby like I do now. Like I've always gone back like, okay, fine, I'll give you another chance,
guess I'll do it. Yeah, exactly. And
if you mess up one time, I'm out. Like I'm so out. Now
I'm giving you more chance, but now I'm like, oh man, that was amazing.
That.
Yeah, I really do miss it. I'm like, please, Derby, come back.
I know, right? And so, have you ever had any Derby injuries, or like you just said, has Derby ever broke your heart? You want to talk about that?
I mean, both and in between. Let's see. So injuries, luckily, I think the only injury I've ever really had while playing Derby was, I never went to the doctor or got it confirmed, but just from what I've read and from the feeling that I had, like how hard and how much it hurt. I'm pretty sure I broke my coccyx, the little tailbone, because it was actually in the very last game that we had at the ballroom. It was the Disco Divas against it was a AC/DC and like the Rockers, right?
Yeah.
I forgot what they were called, but yeah.
Or the Disco Divas.
I think it was the Disco Divas.
Okay.
But I remember
were you on my team, or were you?
I was Detroit Rock City, I believe. Because
that's right. I have a picture, which I'll have to put up. I think I have a picture where I Gene Simmons makeup. You had,
and I had the David Bowie type look. Yeah, I would even have my David Bowie, or it was the Spider Inch
and Molly
shirt, but yeah.
Molly was on it it too. Yes, I have to find that picture. That picture is going to come up.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
But yes, so it was like, it was one of those moments where my feet just slipped from under me. And I mean, bam, just right on my ass. And I remember for a good, maybe like 2 weeks or longer, I could not sit down without being completely uncomfortable. Even if when I was able to sit down, standing back up was painful.
Oh yeah.
So that was probably the only thing I've ever had during a Derby game. I think I remember one time we were at a tournament. It was in Missouri. Oh my God. My knee had always been kind of wonky. I'm pretty sure it was from one of the times that I fell at the Mission Ballroom, and I just never, got it healed or anything. I was
Yeah.
just like, it's fine, I'll keep going, you know, because whatever. And so it kind of would go off and on. And so this time at the event in Missouri, I fell, and I remember I was like, that hurts. But I was like, we were in the middle of the tournament. So I was like, well, I have to keep playing. I mean, it's not like I'm going to not play. So
yeah, and it sucks when it happens like right in the beginning of the game. Like I've fallen on my knee, and it like from the get-go, and it's just hurting the entire time. But
yeah, and so I just kind of like, I walked it off, and I just, you know, put Tiger Balm on it, and I was like, that'll help it. That'll totally Tiger Balm. It's like the Windex of Derby.
Yeah, or maybe if I just put my knee pad on tighter.
Yeah, there we go.
Do you guys have duct tape?
Stop the blood flow. That'll help.
That's a consistent in the interviews that I'm doing. None of us know when to stop when we're injured, and I
think that's an addictive trait, but
yeah, because a lot of the time we feel like we're not just letting ourselves down, but we're letting our team down.
Yeah, for sure.
And we'll continue to skate injured, and that makes things worse, and then we're not able to skate at all.
Yeah.
And so one of the things that I think we need to like write down in our like New Year's resolutions when Derby starts up is, if we're injured, let ourselves heal.
Yeah.
So
let everybody know.
And everybody's going to be
mad.
okay. Yeah. Nobody's going to be mad. Yeah,
nobody's going to be mad.
Yeah. Don't be mad at me. We're all hanging.
I know, right? I think
I'm sorry.
I know, I'm so sorry. My elbow broke. I'm sorry. I know. My ankle, it just twisted weird. I'm sorry.
So that leads to the growing obsession. Has there ever been a time where you didn't have Derby in its correct place when it came to priorities, where it was just out of balance? Can you think of a time that, or many times that
yeah, there's been a couple times. I think one time in particular that comes to mind is I had been just feeling kind of down. Some internal stuff had happened with the league, and it was just not making me feel in love anymore. And I was, you know, kind of getting tired of it, and the people involved. I just wasn't, you know, I wasn't feeling like I was heard or that anybody cared. And I felt like I was just getting pushed out. And at that time I was actually training for Mighty Mujer. I think this was my third time. And so I kind of decided, I was like, you know what, I'm done. I'm going to take a break. I need to step back because this is no longer bringing me joy. It's making me angry, and it's becoming more of a task and an obligation than something that fulfills me. So I'm going to do this now and take a break from this. And I think it was a good 1.5 years that I took, like voluntarily stepped away, needed time away, and just from everything that was going on, and, you know, fill my void with other things. I, you know, did the Mighty Mujer. I was running more, I was biking more. And then after 1.5 years, I think I saw a game somewhere, and I was like, oh, there's that spark again. It rang the little spark of like, I wish I was hitting somebody.
Yeah, I'm not a very good spectator when it comes to Derby or any sports. I'm like, I don't want to watch it. I want to play, you know?
Yeah.
Unless I'm watching like when I'm in person, it's really hard to just watch like and not want to be
right. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I do try to watch and study different games on television. That's a little different.
Yeah,
a little different.
A little different. Yeah.
Have you ever? We talked about how you found your alter ego, but do you ever feel like you lost Pepper and you had to find her again?
It was probably in that same aspect, that same time, you know, I when I had to take that break, I just felt like, again, I was the Pepper that I knew. I was just feeling useless. I was like, why am I even here? What's the point of this? What's the point of me being here? Like, I'm not, you know, I didn't feel like I was being listened to. I didn't feel like anything I say had validity. So I was like, I was like, I need to go. I was like, this is no longer bringing me any kind of pleasure.
Right. Oh, and Mighty Mujer is a triathlon that we do in El Paso for women, and the proceeds go to Domestic violence.
Yeah, so shelters for women of domestic violence. And it's actually expanded to like Tucson. There's one in Florida, and I believe in Austin too.
Right.
Yeah, so it's
Yes.
expanded quite a bit.
There's different events that happen other than bouting in Derby and in your city. Have you ever done anything for Derby? So I talk about running of the bulls, and have you ever been to RollerCon?
Yeah.
And I know that you have.
Yeah.
So let's talk about it.
Oh gosh. So RollerCon, I've only been one time, and it was
Okay,
the
was
one
it the
time
one
with you.
time that we were there?
Yes.
Okay, so
yeah,
we starved at RollerCon. We had
Oh,
no
yeah.
money
I
enough
think
to get us there, and that was it.
that was it. Because I bought my plane ticket because I only had a certain number of days that I
And I
could
drove
have.
with her sister.
Right. Yeah.
We
You drove with my
together.
sister. So
Yes.
you guys had a little extra time. I didn't. I was like, I only have these number of days. So if I drive, that eliminates, those days.
We left
and
like
then
at night. I mean, we left late at night. We got there in the morning. We were dying.
Dude,
Everybody
I think I remember you guys showed up as I was leaving
Walking
the
out.
room, and I was like, oh, here's my room card. Like I handed it off
Yes.
to you guys.
And everybody was fresh like a lettuce. Like
Yeah.
they were ready to go.
Yeah.
And we were like zombies. Like we had driven 14 hours.
Yeah.
Like we took we even slept at like a gas station for like an hour because we
Just
neither
to
one of us could
help.
drive anymore.
Yeah.
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 And and then
God.
I think it was Red, and she like almost came in the door like, "Hey guys!" like super peppy, dude. And
You're
I was
like,
just
please stop.
"Oh,
Please stop."
just everybody.
Yeah,
stop.
dude.
Oh, dude, I was like, it was.
Yeah.
But we
so,
did.
yeah.
We actually just changed, and we just dropped off our stuff, put on our derby gear, and went to the venue because
Yeah.
we didn't want to miss any of the classes.
Any of the classes, yeah. I think I ended up going to. I had a class. I believe there was one with Susie Hot Rod. I think she was doing jam skates, or she was doing something with like quick feet. A lot of the classes were completely full. They were doing like that weird ticket thing. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sure they've cleaned it up since now, but at that
Yeah.
time it was like, it's what, second year or something of doing, I don't even remember how many years at that point. It was early on. So they had no idea how big it was going to be. I don't think they anticipated how many participants were going to go. And so they were doing that weird ticket thing. Like if you showed up, you got a ticket, but then they were still letting people in. So even if you had a ticket, you're like, I'm screwed. I didn't get here in time.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Right. It was just, I did get a class in an agility class with Bonnie Destroyer.
Oh, nice.
We got like a couple. And
Yeah.
like I'll always remember, because as a jammer, she's like, it's like a cat. If a cat can fit their face through, the rest of their body
Then
can
you
fit
rest
through.
of your body can fit through.
She's
Yeah.
like, if you can get your skate through, then the rest of your body like can go through. Like
Yeah.
she just, I always like, and she was the one who, because I had just had Athena, and the C-section, so I was really scared, and I wasn't very agile anymore. And she was like, wear your skates everywhere. So I went home and I wore my skates when I did laundry. I did wear my skates when I ate, and that helped me so much. So I was
I've definitely done that before. I've worn my skates like around the house. That helps with like your little quick turns and being able to just kind of move in small spaces. So yeah, it's helped. But yeah, I remember RollerCon was just, I mean, it was a lot of fun. I did have a lot of fun. I probably could have learned a lot more, but I think me and my sister were just so in awe of the fact that there was no cutoff time. We're like, you can just drink whenever you want. We're like, no, that's not right.
Yeah. Yeah, I think some of the days, like I made myself volunteer, because back then is when I was still drinking, and I would volunteer so that I wouldn't go drink, so that I would be okay to skate the next day. And you get perks. You get like really.
You did,
I mean, if you can volunteer at RollerCon, I definitely recommend.
I did too. I did volunteer, and I remember I volunteered enough hours that the next year I was supposed to get a free pass, but I wasn't able to go the next year. So which sucked, because I was like, damn, I did well, but I was able to see a lot of those black-white scrimmages that they did back then.
Yes.
Or the fun
That's
scrimmages,
because I
did.
So being at the door, you could see a lot of like the bigger skaters.
The bigger skaters, yeah, dude, it was amazing.
I was seeing passes, and I was like,
yeah, dude, yeah,
here you go.
It was amazing. I was like, yeah.
We met Estrogen there. She bought
Yes,
us
dude.
beers.
Yes, dude, that was amazing. I remember we looked back
Because I
and
said, I like your shirt. She had that zipper in the back, and then she turned it on, and all of us were like,
we're like, oh my God, that's estrogen. We were
this
like,
was 2011. 2011 or 2010.
no, 2009 or 2000, no, 2010. You're right, 2010. It was
2010. And then we did Running in the Bulls, which was only 1 year in El Paso. And that was like our 10-year reunion.
Yeah. Yeah. That was fun. I think that's maybe what had sparked me to go back again.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
I think that's what sparked me to go back again. I think I saw a game after that. I went to I saw the Running of the Bulls, and then I think I saw a game shortly thereafter, and I was like, okay, I think I'm ready again. I think I can do this.
Yeah. And then when you have different people, sometimes the league needs to go in a different direction. We have a really amazing board now, not just because I'm on it, but as far as presidents go and whatnot, that, just make derby more derby, instead of like super stressful.
Mm-hmm.
So what have been some of your obstacles in derby, things that have maybe come between you and your relationship with derby?
I think in the beginning it was definitely my ex-husband. I mean, that's a whole other worm and case and thing. But
these are things that people can relate to. Like these are things that need to be talked about.
I mean, that was a whole other thing, just in the aspect of how shitty of a person he was. I think the fact that I felt derby was the first thing that I ever felt good about, that I actually did well. So I think that came off on my relationship in the sense that I started like telling more like, no, I don't like that. No, I don't want that. And it became more of a problem for him. And he would definitely talk a lot of shit about it. So I think he definitely made it, or he tried to make it harder for me to go. But luckily there was so many people that were willing to help me still be a part of it, whether it was taking care of my kids, we would help each other with the kid situation, because that was the main thing, is he would refuse to be a dad so that I couldn't go do your thing. Yes, I couldn't go to practice. So yeah, I think in the beginning that was definitely the obstacle that stood in between me and playing. Although I definitely would kind of just ignore him, because I knew the reasons were not valid. The things he was telling me were not. I was like, that's not even a reason. Like, what? That doesn't make any sense. But I mean, there were times that I was like, okay, I get it. Maybe I should, do the laundry instead of go do this promo or something, or shit like that. So I was like, fine, I guess. But other than that, yeah, that's the biggest obstacle I had. And then I think later as the, years progressed, there were just, people and maybe just their attitudes and ruining certain things for me, and how they came off and what they tried taking away and what they tried, doing. There was a sprinkle of them here and there through the, last, like 12 years that I've been doing this, 13 years. So there's a sprinkle of them everywhere. So yeah, so those were definitely the obstacles. And then of course, just like, always my own self-conscious and insecurities of, am I good enough? Am I, what I'm putting in, is this enough? Is this enough? Yeah.
Living up to some kind of expectation. Seeing people get better at certain things that you're not good at.
Exactly. Yeah.
Aging.
We'll pretend that that's not there.
How do you feel about your derby community now? Are they, or your extended family, as far as derby goes?
I love them. Like, I love them to no end. So a lot of them, like you, there's Chinga, my derby wife. There's Red, who's basically my mistress, those people I've known for more than 10 years, you know what I mean? So, and then the other people now that are in it that are just, they seem to be just so fair and so communicative, which I appreciate, because I think that may have been an issue in the past with other people involved, communication, scared of hurting feelings, you know what I mean? So things were not being clarified or directly said because they were scared of hurting feelings. And now I think either maybe age as a part of it, and we're kind of like, I'm not here to hurt your feelings. I'm just giving you the truth. I'm just saying these things because it's going to better everybody, not just, to make you run away and cry. So I think that has something to do with it. The fact that age, but also just the people involved, I think are very communicative. I feel that they're very honest. I feel they're very fair. And I love them. So yeah, so my little circle, I love one of the best quotes I've ever heard. It's from Bonnie Destroyer that I'm probably going to completely butcher it, but it's basically, we damage our bodies to save our souls. You know what I mean? And it's totally worth it. And we just see it as worth it, and it's true. Like we bang it up, we bruise it, we do everything we can, but internally we're just like,
because, and what I've read about like these extreme sports, skydiving, a full contact sport like this, it makes you be in the moment. And so many, almost everybody does not live in the moment. They're always thinking about the future or the past, but they're not in the present moment. And Derby makes you be in the moment. You can't think about what happening at home when you're watching your ass. You know what I mean? It's gonna come out of somewhere and hit you. And you're looking for those holes and you're pushing. You're in the moment, and that's when we feel ourselves. We are totally ourselves when we're in our bodies, when we're in that moment. And Derby makes us be in the moment. So we need that. Anybody needs something that will bring you to the present moment, because this is the only time we're living in the present moment. And I think that has to do with something when it comes to us being so addicted to being in roller derby, because this is what we found that brings us in this moment.
In the moment. That's true. That makes sense.
That's just
That's true. But that makes sense. Yeah.
So your worst derby moment? I get the same face.
Worst derby moment. I mean, well, one thing that comes to mind, it's probably not the worst, but it's the one that I can talk about without, saying too much or trying to start shit or whatever. It was in a game. It's a safe worst derby moment. It was at a game. I think it's the team called the B team. I want to say they're out of Arizona. I can't remember, but it was with the Sex Pistols. We had traveled out of town to play a game. And my God, I was so mad. I was the jammer and we were winning. Which, I mean, we're always the underdogs. I don't know why, but we were the underdogs. We were winning. I was like amazed. I was like, hell yeah, we were doing well. And I got thrown in as a jammer. I was like, cool, I can do this. I cut the track. So I ended up costing us like about 10 points there. Wow. And I think, because I cut the track, so I had to go to the box. And then I think that jammer was able to score, they weren't able to stop him. But I'll always remember at that time, our captain, I think she plays for another league now, but she gave us our pep talk. Like halftime, and she's all, let's not try to make any more mistakes. And she like glared right at me. That can cost us those points. And I was like, man, I was like, hey man, I wasn't part of the blocking team that could have blocked the jammer either. So I was like, can we not put full blame on me?
Right. Right. Why was she making 10 points while I was in the box for
30 seconds, man? Come
30
on.
seconds, bro. Yeah. She made 10 points. Okay.
Exactly. So that's totally not on me. Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
not on me,
I
man.
mean, who doesn't cut the track every once in a while? That is like an honest mistake. I could understand if you like totally okay. Well,
Yeah,
I'm going to
but
be on your
anyways,
side though. Don't get me
but yeah, I
excited
know, right?
now. Let me
Yeah.
stop there. So, what is your best derby moment?
I have a couple, but the one that I remember is we were playing a team in, oh, gosh, I think it was so Mazzy, the one that's on Borderland, she was actually playing with that team at that time. I can't remember. I think it's West Texas. I think it's West Texas. I think that's their name. We were playing them. We were losing. Like there was no way we were gonna win at all. Like at all. And it was our so you know at this point we're just trying to not lose by a lot, I guess, but we were still trying, of course, every jam
Yeah.
you go in, it's a 0-0 game. So we were still trying. I mean, at this point, I don't think we really thought we could win, but we were still just like, let's just keep trying, whatever.
Yeah, you're not going
And
to
I
just
think
lay down and die
exactly.
for
No,
them
no,
either.
you go in till you hear those last 4 whistles,
Yeah.
so it was, I believe it was the last jam, and I went in as jammer, and and for whatever reason, um, my blocking team was doing amazing. And I was able to score, I think, like 15 or 20 points in that exam, but it was amazing because I think it was funny because I kept squatting behind everybody. And so the other team couldn't see me. So they were so busy trying to get their jammer out. I just kept squatting. They weren't seeing me. So by the time they saw me, I was already cutting the inside and I was just past them.
Thing.
And I think there was a couple times where one of their blockers had tried to hit me, but she was, I don't know, I don't know what it was, but she was like, anytime she tried to hit me, I literally would just squat below her. Like I was
like
just like,
bean
nope.
dip it?
Yeah, the bean dip, dude. Yeah,
The
I
bean
just bean
dip,
dip.
dude.
Yeah, I
I
just
need to
bean dip
use that
below
more
her.
often.
Yeah, dude, I just bean dip below her. And everybody was like, yeah, they were like, just keep going. Cause I think I had lead jammer. But yeah, I think I got like 15, 20 points. I mean, obviously we still lost by like 50 plus points, but hey,
but
I made it that much closer. So, but it was amazing. It was a good feeling. In fact, I'll find it. I'm pretty sure Derby Rotzi has a picture of me. I was doing that, and like I was like,
find it.
Yeah,
find it. We will put it up.
Dude, it was that one, and that's where I was making the face because I knew we weren't gonna win, but I was like, man, this is just fun now. Like,
there's times where you have a winning game, even though you didn't win the game.
Yeah.
Like I've had games where I was like, man, but I was proud of my performance. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it feels like a win. And there are a lot of skaters who talk about the games that feel like wins, even though they were losses.
Yeah.
Not point wise, but
right. Just spirit wise, and everybody's like mood and everything.
Everything you learn from the game.
We had one of those though. So again, I wasn't the jammer, but I wasn't even playing in the last one. But man, it was an amazing feeling. Like it was actually a tournament. I think we were playing in Missouri, and it was this chick Corey that played with us with Tex Pistol. She actually lives. I don't remember if she lives somewhere like in Texas or New Mexico, but wherever she lives, the closest league was literally us. So she would come play for us or come play with us. And we were playing that game in Missouri, and we were losing again. We were losing, but at this point we were like, you know what, just give it our all, give it the best we got. And she had already informed us that was going to be her last like time playing with us because of life and things. Just she wasn't no longer going to be able to travel to us to practice or whatnot. So it was the last game and we were losing, and I mean we literally just kept going like this, and she looked so tired, but we're like, just keep going, just keep going. And we were like, yeah. You would have thought we won. You would have thought we won. Everybody was cheering for us in the crowd, everybody. And then you'd look at the score and you're like, you're not even close to winning. We're like, I know. I know.
So how are you coping with the pandemic and not being able to skate right now?
I mean, not well, in the sense that I haven't skated consistently the way I should have. So I know I'm gonna be very rough, or probably I don't feel like I'm gonna have the same edge that I may have had, last year, just because I'm not on my skates all the time. I'm not practicing things that I should, at least in the sense of like agility and
Footwork. Yeah.
footwork, all of that kind of stuff. Yeah. So I mean, other than that, I've tried to occupy my time with work now versus trying to think of or helping with like sponsoring or helping with selling tickets, all that stuff. So it's definitely just that's what's been filling my time now, is work and other stuff. So
Mhm.
mhm.
Yeah, you had to take advantage of that because
Yeah.
once Derby comes around, we had to split
Right.
our time
Exactly.
up.
Uh-huh.
I mean, there's work, but then there's this important thing,
Yeah,
Derby, right?
exactly. Right. I only
So,
have work so that I can pay for Derby.
for
So
Derby, yeah, and the kids, and then
yeah,
Derby.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Life stuff, blah, 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 whatever,
Yeah,
bills.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Main
There's
important
these new
thing,
skates
Derby.
that for the last decade, that's been a priority. And so finally, do you have any words of encouragement for skaters that are watching right now?
I think something that I should probably practice myself too is never compare yourself to somebody else, only compare yourself to how you were yesterday. Because you're never going to measure up to somebody else's um, um, what they've done, like where they're at, because you don't know what they've put into it. For all you know, they have the time and ability to go skating every day, and maybe you don't have that, but that's fine, because whatever you do put into it, you're going to get out of it, and be okay with that. You're not comparing yourself to anybody else. Just if you have even small goals that you want to set up for yourself, like whether it be no toe stops. I want to be able to stop without relying on my toe stops. One day at a time, maybe take one toe stop off and then skate around, in somewhere that you're comfortable, and just doing little stops, the hockey stop, or, just turning around till you stop. Just, but always have little milestones that you can look back on and be like, oh, wow, I didn't used to be able to do this. Now I can. Or, look how much closer I am to this milestone. So yeah, it's just always look back at where you used to be, not where somebody else might be.
Yes, absolutely. Well,
Mm-hmm.
thank you so much for
Yes,
being on the show.
of course.